this is part of a system. If you've got, I always say, when you have an event coming up, you've got to have a promotion plan leading up to it. And this is the beauty of having a system of every month or every couple of months inviting people to some kind of event with you so that you can concentrate. Okay, I know I have my workshop coming up, so I know for the month leading up to that, I'm going to be promoting that. That's where my focus is going to be, not like all over the place. So everything I do on social media and everything else is all geared towards that workshop, and that's what systemizes it. Because now you're not trying all these different things. You have a system in place. You know you have this workshop, and in this workshop, you are going to invite them to work with you, and it becomes this regular thing. So a part of your system then is to put it on your calendar. Okay, I've got to change my banners on all my social media profiles for this next event and have a link, so that link then leads to a funnel where they sign up. So let's talk about the funnel, the sales funnel. Hey, everybody, welcome to this week's Speakeasy Cafe. Janelle Anderson here, your host. And I like to share that I am the workshop queen now. I'm also the virtual events visionary, but I call myself the workshop queen because that was a name someone gave me recently. And I thought, well, that fits because I teach coaches how to create a monthly workshop system for their business so that they're not chasing after clients every month, but they actually have a system to bring new leads in, new clients in every single month. And they can just focus on that system and everything starts working better for them rather than just randomly posting and trying all these different things, which most coaches do, and I did for 6 years. So today, that's our topic. We're going to talk about how to take a workshop and create a system from that workshop so that every month you are meeting new people, you're getting into a room with potential clients, you're connecting with them, and you're making an offer. And how to systemize that so that it's not like reinventing the wheel every single month. And we have a guest speaker today, Latara Dragoo, which I'm going to bring up right now. And she is a digital marketer, and she's going to share her thoughts on systemizing, and especially when it comes to the sales funnel, because that's a big part of your system. So welcome, Latara.
Hello, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here today.
Well, I'm excited to have you always. Always excited to talk to you.
Likewise.
So let's start with you. Just introduce yourself for a couple minutes and let people know what you do.
All right. Well, I am a Latara Dragoo, a visibility strategist and digital marketing consultant. I help speakers, coaches, and authors create a strong online presence to attract their ideal clients with ease.
Wow, that sounds like a great thing that everybody wants. Attract clients with ease, right? And visibility is so important.
Yes.
So
That's it.
important. So, of course, my focus is always around the workshop idea, which does create visibility for
Mhm.
yourself, right? So, let's dive a little bit into just visibility in general. What are some of the tips you might have or things that you recommend for coaches to get more visible?
One of the easiest things to do is to go in and optimize all of your social media profiles, first of all, because one of the things that would probably even help somebody who is doing the workshop funnel idea, because your workshop system is a funnel.
Yes.
And what makes that more effective is if somebody signs up for your workshop and they're going to do research about you. In fact, 80% of people are going to be doing research about somebody before they make a buying decision. They're going to do online research. So this is why it's critical that you have visibility online, that you look like you're a professional. You want to look like the expert. You don't want to look like an amateur when somebody shows up on your social media profile. You don't have a banner on the back. You have a photo of you at a nightclub or doing something silly. Like that's cool when you're just using something like Facebook for friends, but if you want it to help you build your business, you want to have that professional impression. So that's one of the first things that you can do to set that up so that
Mm.
when somebody does do the research, that you give them
Mhm.
a good first impression.
Yeah, that's a really great idea because people will do research, and that's one of the first places they go. See if you're on Facebook or are you on LinkedIn or Instagram, things like that. So what kinds of things what matters when it comes to your profile on social media? And I know you said, a banner. What
Mhm.
else matters?
That would be number one is have a really good professional back banner on your profiles. Uh, Sometimes people say, "Oh, you should only put something there that's personal, like not business related." But those people probably aren't entrepreneurs, honestly.
Probably.
There is that two schools of thought there, but if you do have something there other than business, it should still lend towards something like living a luxurious lifestyle. So it could be a photo of you on the beach in
Mhm.
some tropical destination or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're still giving that feel of what your lifestyle is like.
Yeah.
So that if you do put something on there that's business related, it's good to have like a QR code or a link or something, some sort of call to action somewhere at the top of your profile because they
Mm.
call it above the fold.
Yeah.
And so that's why the other thing is your little 140 character intro. If you say
Mm.
something about what it is that you do and you can say it in 20 words or less, then you can convey a lot of information in the first few seconds of somebody getting there.
Yeah, so good. So a couple things with this. I use my workshop banner. I'll change it, or if I'm doing my 3-day event in
Mhm.
my social media profiles, I'll go in and change the profile image at the top, the banner, so that I'm advertising
Yes.
upcoming
Yes.
workshop.
Yes.
That's
Perfect.
yeah.
That's great. No, using it as your own personal billboard is genius.
Mhm.
And a lot of people want to just set it and forget it, and they have the
Yeah.
same thing that's been there for 5 years.
Yeah.
But I'm like you. I put something there specifically that I'm promoting it like an event launch or whatever, because when you change either your banner or your profile picture, a lot more of your followers will get notified
Right.
than a regular post. So you
Yeah.
actually gain a higher reach in the algorithms by doing that.
Yeah,
So it's a
that's true.
great
Because
hack.
they'll do a little notification. Hey, Janelle just changed her picture. And
Exactly.
also you're advertising your upcoming event. And
Mhm.
also you were talking about the QR code or some kind of link in there as well. And this is part of the system. If you've got, I always say, when you have an event coming up, you've got to have a promotion plan leading up to it. And this is the beauty of having a system of every month or every couple of months inviting people to some kind of event with you so that you can concentrate. Okay, I know I have my workshop coming up, so I know for the month leading up to that, I'm going to be promoting that. That's where my focus is going to be, not like all over the place. So everything I do on social media and everything else is all geared towards that workshop, and that's what systemizes it. Because now you're not trying all these different things. You have a system in place. You know you have this workshop, and in this workshop, you are going to invite them to work with you, and it becomes this regular thing. So a part of your system then is to put it on your calendar. Okay, I've got to change my banners on all my social media profiles for this next event and have a link, so that link then leads to a funnel where they sign up. So let's talk about the funnel, the sales funnel. Yeah. So what are your tips there as far as having a sales funnel, optimizing it, making sure it's working? What is a sales funnel? Some people may not even know what that is. I didn't know for a long time what the heck a funnel was.
So there's actually two things that people associate with the phrase sales funnel. One is the process of getting a lead and converting them into a raving fan, that whole customer journey. But it's also referred to as the actual digital asset online, which is kind of like a website, but it only gives you one course of action or maybe two options. So it's specifically to build your email list, and if you do it right, you can actually convert that into a sale in one go. So it's not like it has to be spread out over time, but only about 5% of the people that are going to be going through your sales funnel are going to be in a position to buy right in that moment. So that is why the long-term nurture ability that you have when you convert people into your email is that you can nurture that relationship over time so that 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 one little 5% of the time that they're ready to buy, they're in your ecosystem and they're thinking about you and you're top of mind for them. So then when they do say, "Oh wow, you know what? I've been hearing more and more about workshops. Huh, who do I know that does workshops? Oh wow, I just got an email from Janelle this morning. Maybe I should try this out."
Yes, yes. And I think that's a really, really important point to bring out. And I think I know a lot of my clients don't realize this at first, or early stage coaches that are just starting out don't realize that percentage, that whole like what's I forget what it's called, but when the percentage of people ready to buy, you think about your whole following, people following you, and the percentage of people who are ready to buy, or the percentage of people that are not a good fit, and then the percentage of people like the not a good fit, they'll never buy, and then there's a percentage of people that will buy in the future, but they're not ready yet, and then there's
Exactly.
a percentage of people that are maybe interested, but they're not quite, so that it breaks it down. And we need to realize that when we are sending out our emails on a regular basis, that that's true. There's a small percentage that are ready now and going to show up to your event or click on your link or whatever. But the rest of them, and this is a part of your system as well, is that nurturing that you're talking about, keeping that relationship going. And I use a weekly newsletter that I send out every Monday. And just every Monday, I tell a story or I share a tip about something. And then I always have the Speakeasy Cafe in there. And then I have other things going on. I also have whatever I have going on. So the first part of the newsletter is all about supporting them and giving them value. And here's a tip and here's an action step you can take this week and tell a story. And then the bottom part of it is upcoming events and things like that. And that's what I use to just nurture, and be in touch. So important. And then this
I love
Speakeasy
it.
Cafe is another way I nurture my audience because I'm inviting them into a little discussion. Sometimes I have a guest, sometimes it's just me. And that's a way to nurture. And this is all a part of your system, right?
Brilliantly done. Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Bravo.
Yes. So I'd love for them, if for everybody to know if there is, do you have a free gift you can drop, or how can people get in touch with you to know more? Oh, by the way, everybody, Latara also is a wonderful graphic designer. She designs the cover of one of my books. So just
That
throw
was
that
such
in
a fun project. I'm so excited. I'm
there.
still tickled that I got to be a part of that project. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
So if you want to find out more about creating a strong online presence, I have a little mini course on that topic.
Oh,
It's
great.
called Creating a Strong Online Presence by Having a Voice. And you
Oh,
can pick
nice.
that up complimentary by going to avoice.online.
Okay. Do you have the link handy or?
Yes, I can put that in the chat here if you
In the
like.
chat. And for those of you watching this on YouTube or LinkedIn or wherever this recording is, we will also have the link for you in the show notes in the YouTube and comments in the other places. Awesome. So that's
I'm
not
putting it because
hyperlinked. It
yeah,
should be
I'm doing
HTTPS.
the whole.
Okay. So
There we
those of you here
go.
present with us, there you go. Got a free gift from Latara. And I do have my client enrollment workshop coming up this week, 2 days from now. And that's where I share my workshop system, which follows a framework I call the client's framework for creating a workshop that systemizes your lead generation, your client enrollment, and gives you a place to make an offer every single month if you want to do it every month, which I highly recommend because people see that every month. And like Latara said, then people are like, oh, I want to go to that. I've been hearing about it. So every month you're putting it out there and you can put it on social media. You should every single month you can have people promote for you and you're just constantly getting yourself out there and not just with a lead magnet, but with an actual place, a container, a space where you can actually meet with your people and have a talk with them and let them do some things, let them learn something from you, and then offer the next step, which would be whatever your program is. So it works really well and especially good for newer coaches who maybe are still just doing one-on-one coaching and don't have a big list yet, don't have a big audience. This is a way to build that. I've done workshops for over 11 years. It's been my primary strategy over the years over the years, even before I had it as a system, I was still doing random workshops. But I always thought, well, I need more clients. How can I do this quickly? Oh, I'll do a workshop. And that was always my method. And I've refined it over the years. I've learned the secret formula of how to make them really work. and convert really well because early on I wasn't great at that. Great at teaching content, but I wasn't great at the rest of it. So my client's framework is that system, and we'll go over that in my workshop on Wednesday. So feel free to come to that. So I thank you so much for coming, Latara. I would love to open it up for anybody here in our Zoom room that has a question or a comment. There's a couple people here. Do you guys have anything you want to ask? You can just unmute and come on up. Andrew?
I have a comment.
Yeah.
I am one of those people on my LinkedIn. I said it and forget it because I don't know how to change it. I had somebody do it for me. So, is there a way without hiring somebody that I could make changes to my banner?
Oh, yeah. Latara, you want to answer that?
Sure. That's so if you're changing anything on your LinkedIn profile, there is a little pencil icon in the upper right corner, like a pencil inside of a circle, that if you click on that, you can upload a different image. You can get something done in Canva, or you can even, hire somebody on Fiverr to create a new graphic for you, or if you have specific graphics for a specific launch that you want it to be cohesive and branded, then you can either do that in Canva or have it done
Yeah.
professionally.
Do you use Canva, Andrea?
I tried, but I couldn't get it to
Couldn't
work.
figure it out. Okay.
I'm a writer and that's my
Yeah.
skill, and I'm an
Right.
artist, but I'm not a Canva. I'm not
Yeah.
a tech person. All the tech stuff is just goes over
Mm.
me. I could read a YouTube video,
Mhm.
try to do it. I can't figure it out. So
Okay. Well, going to
I just
Fiverr is,
don't like to have to hire people all the
yeah.
time, and
Yeah.
sometimes they don't work out,
If you would like I can, if you want to book a call with me, we can go over it together.
Yeah. There you
If
go.
you like, I can drop my link.
Yeah. Latara's amazing with that kind of
Well,
stuff.
I was going to ask you, Janelle, do you change the heading every month that you do a workshop with the title and the date of your workshop?
Yes, usually because I want I want everybody to know what the date is. And then I do a workshop when I don't have my 3-day event. So if it's my 3-day event month, I throw that in there. Right now, if you go to my LinkedIn profile, you'll see it says Client Enrollment Workshop. And then next month, I'm doing my 3-day event, which is the Virtual Events Boot Camp. And that's where we actually build your workshop with you using the client's framework, and that banner will be changed after the workshop. And I did go to Canva to create those, and I just have them, and it can easily go back and change the date on there.
So, I mean, tomorrow, Wednesday's your workshop. On Thursday, do you go back to another profile, another setting?
Yeah, it might not be right away. Sometimes I forget, but soon after the
Okay.
workshop, I'll change
All
it.
right. I was just concerned about that.
Yeah, just to keep it updated. Well, once you create, like if you're doing a regular type of event, you can have one banner image and you can, and Latara can show you this in Canva, easily change it. In Canva, you can just look for a template for a LinkedIn banner. It'll give you the right size. And then with Latara's creativity with graphics, she could probably design something really great for you. And then let's say you have the date on it for the next one. You go back to Canva, open up the graphic and just change the date and then download it. And so that you can always get to it.
Thanks.
Yeah. It's pretty simple. I think once you do it, I mean, if you have somebody design it for you and it's there and you learn how to get to it and make changes and download, it's really just a couple of clicks. And
Everybody says it's simple, but it's not always simple for everyone. You have to
well, if
realize
you're creating from scratch, yeah, then it could be, but if you have where it is and you go right to that template that's already made, you just change the date. That's simple. That part's simple.
yeah, once you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you could just have one banner made that doesn't have a date and it's more evergreen if it's something you do regularly, and just use the one that you have. You have
That's a
it
good
downloaded
point.
to your computer as an image. Just make it super simple. So, and then if you're promoting on like Facebook, you can have the same design as a Facebook banner, same design as if you're doing Instagram or whatever else you're doing. My YouTube banner, I think I changed it so you can have the same one made in all these different formats and downloaded in your image folder, and all you have to do is pull those images.
And to your point, Janelle, that is a more advanced strategy to change it every month. So you're right. If somebody wants to just set it and forget it, like Andrea, then you can just make that an evergreen QR code and link that's the same every month. It's just a bonus to be able to change it monthly, but it's not a requirement.
Yeah. Yeah, and if your banner's pretty good and already has a QR code for people to get in touch with you, you can just leave that the way it is. Do you have a banner right now in LinkedIn?
Oh, yeah, I had somebody design it, but I don't use QR codes because they're over my head also.
Oh,
So,
okay.
because they only work on phones and I don't work on a phone.
Oh,
So
okay.
I have a link. And
Perfect.
the person that I studied with many years ago also, and I don't know if this is still happening, had me make my image. I do a 30-second live video. And then if you click on that, it's supposed to be a live video. It's still operable, but I did
Mhm.
that years ago and I never changed anything.
Oh, okay.
So when you talk about updating your profile, I assume the banner is what you're talking about mostly, but I know I could add other things like referrals and all that stuff, and I really haven't. That's the only site that I'm on. I'm not on
Oh, okay.
many. I'm on Facebook a little bit, but not much. I just don't care for it.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't either.
mostly on LinkedIn.
Another thing that you can do if you don't want to put a QR code is you can make it so underneath your little intro, right underneath your headshot, you can add a website link or a book now link or something there. You can customize that. So that can go to your workshop if you wanted it to.
Yeah, great idea. Well, Latara dropped a link there for you to book a call with her, and she's wonderful to work with. I don't think she's going to charge you for the first
Oh,
call.
thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for that question.
Yes, thank you.
Good
I'm
question.
I'm curious about the sort of the architecture of how you put these workshops together, what it takes to promote them, how many people you drive to, like the employee or the customer enrollment workshop that's coming up.
Yeah.
That is a free workshop, right? I
Yes.
presume that's your sales pitch, right? You're going to give enough information for people to get a pretty good idea of what the 3-day workshop is all about. And then some percentage of those people are going to sign up for the 3-day workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So my workshop, my monthly workshop is a 90-minute workshop, and then I leave time for questions at the end. But it's not a webinar. A webinar to me is more presenting and here's my offer, not much interaction. I like to have interaction. So I get them talking, I get them doing something with me, thinking about their workshop, maybe what is it going to be about, and a little bit of getting them started with it. And then I introduce my framework, which is my system of putting that together from start to finish. It's a 7-step system. Clients is an acronym. So I introduce that. I share what each of the letters stands for, and then I usually dive into one piece of it in the workshop because I don't have time to go in depth in all of them. But the most important piece I'll pull out, and we'll talk more about that. I'll give them some examples. I usually do a little demo, like a hot seat with somebody. So it's a lot, it's a very interactive. And then I invite them to a course that I have that is going to help them with that one step, which is the offer. You have to have a really good offer. And you start with your offer and then you build your workshop from the offer. You don't start with content and figure out you're going to take them to. You start with that and you reverse engineer it. So I'm talking about that in the workshop, and then I introduce them to how to create that offer. What does it look like? What is the difference between selling coaching sessions versus selling a program that speaks to results and transformation? And I show them kind of what that can look like as an example. And then I invite them to the 4-week course where we build that program together, which is starting in March for this go round. And then they come to the 3-day event at the end of that course, and other people come to the 3-day event as well. And I go over the client's framework again, but I spend 3 days going through each piece of that. So they're actually building their workshop together. And the ones that went to the course already have their program that they're going to sell. So they already have their offer ready to go. And then at the end of the 3 days, they've got an offer put together, they've got a workshop to sell the offer, and they could literally go out and put it on the calendar and do it. But then that's where I offer my year-long program where we not only help you with that, but everything else that you need to build your business. So that's sort of the client journey. I take people on through that process, and it really answers that need for how do I find more clients. That's why it's
Yeah.
client enrollment. Yeah.
So you've been doing this for a while now. Yeah. So like, what does it take to fill the class, I guess? And what is
Okay.
full
For the
mean?
workshop?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that during the workshop. And in the 3 days, I go into it a lot more in depth. There's a lot of things you can do. Promotion, I like to think of that as not just a post, but an actual campaign.
Yeah.
And you plan it before. So let's say your workshop is the date for it is a month from now. So you take out your calendar and you figure out, okay, what am I going to post on social media each week? And it could be little teasers, little teaser videos. This is coming up soon. And then boom, now enrollment is open. You can speak on summits and podcasts and invite people to your workshop, which is a strategy that works really well. You can find people to promote it for you to their email list and on their social media, which is also a really good strategy because now you're getting in front of new audiences and you're not just dependent on the one you have. And
Sure.
you can, of course, consistently get out there on social media. Then you can also reach out to people direct message, or if they've already registered, the other side of this is getting them to show up. So you want to keep reminding them and telling them what this is going to be great. You can direct message people that have registered, or you can call them or text them. So they're getting personal touches from you, which is a really, really powerful way to actually get people there. So there's
Yeah.
registering and they're showing up.
Sure, sure. And I guess, I mean, like all of that is that seems pretty normal standard. Like you gotta get after your customers, right? But how many people on average would you say you bring into the free workshop?
Well, right now I have 200 registered.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
And
pretty
I
good.
think I'm going to go above that this time. Last month I had 200 registered and 70 showed up in the room, which
And is that like pretty typical for your customers? Once they go through your program, they implement a similar system, you know, maybe customized to their particular business in a way, but effectively they implement. You can expect something like that around 50
Yep.
to 100 people in every
Yes.
workshop
Yeah.
that leads to some number of people then signing up for the
Yeah.
longer term programs.
And now it doesn't happen overnight. So this is a process. You
Sure.
work on it to get it to where it converts well, where it's attracting. We work on the messaging, and every part of my system is after you've done a workshop, you need to go back and see what worked well and what didn't work well and look at your numbers and let's figure out what we need to tweak for the next time. So
Yeah.
over time, you make it better and better and it's working better and better. And then another thing that I've been using is Eventbrite ads, and that
Oh,
works
okay.
really, really well. And I have lots of JV partners. So, and that takes time to build that. So
Right.
it's something you're building over time, but you can start with a workshop with two people in the room and you're still going to
Sure.
learn a lot, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so I've got clients now. My program is not that old. It's not huge yet, but they are. So they're getting ready to, most of them are getting ready to do their first workshop. And so we don't have huge numbers yet, but they're building the system behind the scenes. You got to have your tech down. You've got to know how to build that funnel and all that. I have one who's been doing it for a while and her numbers are going up. Her last registration was 31, and before that I think she'd only had maybe 10. So that's going up, which means, she's refining it and getting the messaging down. And it took me a while to get to the place where I've got 200 registered for a workshop. And for my
Yeah.
3-day event, I'm working towards my goal this time is 400 registered. Last time I had 300, so I'm getting there.
Yeah.
It takes time though.
Yeah, no, it's great. I'm really glad that I was able to join this
Yeah.
particular call because it's right
Yeah.
in line with what I'm trying to accomplish. The workshop that you have coming up in 2 days, I'm not going to be able to go to because I've got other obligations. But is there a way to register for your next one, or can you put me
Yeah.
on a mail list or something?
Yeah, that's absolutely get on my email list. Let me give you
Or I guess I don't know
you
if
know
we're
what?
connected on Alignable or not, but we should be.
Might be, but it'd be better if you were on my list so you're getting
Yeah,
emails.
yeah.
Also, if you're interested in coming to the virtual events boot camp, that's March 25th to 27th. That's free as well. There is a VIP upgrade, which I highly recommend. It's only 47, but you get all the recordings, you get some bonus sessions and stuff. Oh, good. I can just add you to my list.
Sure.
With that email. And then so that's in March, and then I'll have workshops again in April, May, and June. And then I'll have another 3-day in July. So it kind of goes like that throughout the year.
Okay.
And the workshop, if you register for it, you do get a replay for a few days, but I recommend coming in person just because you get to ask questions and we get to get more around, we get to talk more about exactly what you're doing and trying to do, and you can get a lot of feedback live. So, but I'll just add
Okay.
you to my list. You'll start getting emails. I do a lot of emailing, just giving you a warning.
No worries.
I promote other people too. So
When
awesome.
you say this local event, this boot camp is a local event, to where?
It's
Where?
virtual. It's
Oh,
online.
it's
Everything
virtual.
I do is online. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's a lot of fun. The 3-day event is super fun. We have guest speakers coming. We have a prize wheel. We do things together. Like I'll give people here's a exercise to go do, and then you come back and talk and share and get in breakout rooms. So it's very interactive. I've had people tell me over and over again it's the best event they've ever been to. So it's definitely worth setting aside 3 days. It's almost like look at it as you're going away for 3 days to a conference in person.
Sure.
That's what a
Yeah.
lot of people are like, 3 days online. Well, if you go away to someplace, you put aside 3 days to go. So just look at it the
Or
same.
more, right? It's a day to get there, day to get
Yeah.
home. Oh, well, we're going to turn it into a long weekend.
Yeah.
I want to go to a museum, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And it costs you money and all that.
right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I'd love for you to come to that. The workshop sort of sets everything up for the 3-day event, and then there's the course in between. And the course is going to run again later in the year live. So it is a good course to take to really refine that offer. That's the biggest thing you really need to
Yeah.
have nailed down.
Okay. Yeah, I will. I'm looking at my calendar, and those 3 days in March are also challenging for me already. So I will wait for your email to come through with the next round of things, and
Yeah.
when I can, I will definitely participate because I feel
Okay.
like I've got requests from some of my referral partners to do workshops, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do workshops, and then I'm like, how do you do workshops?
Yeah.
So now I've got to come up with some stuff, and
Yeah.
there's only so much you can do with
Yes.
Google search, so having a framework and a proven strategy is certainly would be
Yes.
worthwhile.
Definitely. And there is strategy to it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I have a couple more questions.
oh, okay.
Just
Well, thanks,
finished.
Ben. That was awesome. We'll definitely be in
One thing, I did sign up for Wednesday, but I may have to be out of town. So you said you're going to have a recording for a
replay.
couple of days. I also signed up for your 3-day, but I didn't get an acknowledgement. Usually it says afterwards you are now signed up.
Oh,
So
yeah. You
it
didn't.
just stayed there on
Oh,
the same screen. So
well, that's very
hopefully
strange.
I'll get there. But my main question is, when you mentioned JV partners, this always boggles me because I don't really think I have any JV. I mean, I know people, but without going into like a long detail, because I'm now going to hear more about this from your workshops and everything. Are they expecting a cut? So like you need to have an affiliate program? Is that the typical way that you compensate JV partners for getting the word out about your workshop and your events?
Yeah, and now there's several different types of partners. There's the one thing called an affiliate partner where they just want to promote and they're not necessarily interested in cross promotions like you promoting them. They just want to be promoting you, and you do give them a percentage of any sales that are made that come from them, which you need to have an affiliate link for them. And there's a lot of programs out there that help you to do that.
I know I'd have to have like a WordPress plugin for my website to set up an affiliate program, right?
Yeah, or you
Something
could
like
use
that.
ThriveCart is a standalone. It's a pay once for the lifetime, and it sets up affiliates. It also can collect payment and send
Oh,
automatic payments to your affiliates too.
okay.
So check that out. Then JV partners are more like they're joint ventures. So they're going to promote you and you're going to promote them. And sometimes in a joint venture, you might do something together. So there's different ways that people can promote you. But generally speaking, you do give a commission on a sale. Let's say you're selling a course for $500. Typically, it's 40 to 50% commission.
Yikes.
And you got to look at this as your marketing budget. Instead of paying for ads, you're paying this person to put you in front of their audience. And
Right.
it's like a word of mouth warm introduction rather than a cold ad that nobody knows you. So
Right.
you look at it that way, and you also look at your course as not your main income stream. Your main income stream should be a higher ticket program. And so you use your workshop into a lower ticket program to then from there get people into your higher ticket program. And you don't have to pay commissions to that JV for anything beyond that first program.
That's what you consider your funnel, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, and the more that you have, the better. I forget how many are promoting this workshop, but I've already gotten 100 registrations to my workshop from my partners.
And how did you find them? Did you just cold
Um,
call people? Oh, I'd like you
no,
to be my partner. I'd like you to be my partner.
well, you can initially reach out to just people you know, but there are lots of networking events that happen regularly where that's what it's all about. And people introduce themselves and say, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm looking for in a JV partner. If you're interested, let me know. And then you get to drop your stuff in the chat, and then people reach out to each other and have a separate meeting and come up with how they're going to promote each other. So one of them is JV directory.
Oh, I've been on JV directory for
Okay.
years. I mean, and I'm on networking events all week long.
Okay. Yeah,
I
that's where.
mentioned and David Ricklin and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I did a lot of networking, but I also basically didn't really know what to offer because I have a small list. So if we were trading lists, for example, I
Mhm.
wouldn't be attractive to someone who has 10,000 on the list and I have 500, you know. So
Yeah,
that's
but
why I always wondered what I could offer.
okay, so that's not always true. Sometimes people with big lists want to promote you because they're big-hearted people, for one thing. But you can offer other things. You can offer to it. Let's say you have, I don't know if you have a YouTube show or a podcast. You can offer them a place to
I don't
speak.
have anything but books.
But books, you could offer them something for their people around your training. Maybe you say, "Hey, I would love to come and do a little training for your people around books." Like, think about
Right,
the things you offer that could be different than swapping emails. I would
right.
love to promote you. And this is the way that I can do it right now because I have a small list. And then you can also say, like sometimes when I'm talking to people with really big lists, much bigger than me, I'll say, hey, even if you could just put me in your newsletter, I'd appreciate that. Or one post on social media, something easy. A lot of times they'll be willing to do that for you too. The other thing is there's lots of people in groups like JV Directory that are more at your level that are just starting out that have small lists. I started off with cross promoting with people with small lists like me, and then you build. And every time you're doing that, you're adding to your list. Like Latara and I have done that, right?
Yeah, we're doing a swap right now, actually.
Yeah, we are. And so, just don't assume that people won't want to promote you. And if you go to those regularly, the people will see you. You start you look at it as a long-term strategy because you're developing relationships with people. And then over time, you've got some maybe, several that you've really got a relationship going and you can continue to promote. I have promotional partners that we've been doing this together for years now, and they're my best partners, right? But I'm always adding new partners. And I look at that as like one of my regular, it's part of the system. It's a big part of the system. And every week, I'm going to either that meeting or other meetings and I'm getting on individual calls with people. I have like 5 or 6 this week because I'm continually nurturing that and building that out. So it's not a one and done thing.
I know.
And looking for, how you can bring value. Because I'm sure, Andrea, you have a lot of things you could add value to people.
I do a lot of workshops, but not online. I have different places I teach out.
Oh, nice. Okay.
In libraries, art centers. There's a new art collective where I have 2 classes coming up. So
Nice.
I can teach anything about writing, but
Yeah.
I haven't done online because I haven't been able to build an audience. And I had a couple of partners and we tried to get some webinars going, but didn't pan out. So I'm just going out in the world, getting off Zoom for a while.
Yeah, I started that way. I went to my local library and had a regular monthly workshop at the different libraries and got
Yeah.
a lot of initial clients that way. So that's a
Well,
great
that
strategy.
hasn't happened, but I have sold some books, so that's
Oh,
okay.
good. Yeah. Well,
Thank you so much, though. I've got another meeting I've got to get
okay.
to, but if I
Okay.
can make your workshop on Wednesday, I'll be happy to see you. Otherwise, I hope I can get into the 3-day boot camp because, like I
Yeah,
said,
I'll check on that and make sure you get the confirmation email.
yeah, nice to see you again, Latara, and
Great
nice to meet
seeing
you.
you.
Great seeing you too,
Yeah,
Andrea. Thanks
take
so
care.
much. All right. Well, this has been awesome. Thanks, Latara.
Yeah, this was fun.
Ben, do you have something else you want to share?
No, I just I'm going to put this meeting on my calendar for the next several Mondays. So,
Wonderful.
and I hope it's nice and small like this. I feel like I get like some
Yeah.
personal attention, and that's really great.
Great.
Sometimes you're in these Zoom meetings and there's like 50 people in them, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's hard to get much
Yes.
individual questions answered, you know. So so I'm looking forward to this. This is like perfect for where I am right now. So
Yeah, it usually is pretty small, and usually it's people from Alignable. I mean, I promoted elsewhere, but for some reason, Alignable people love to come to this. Well, I posted as a regular event inside of Alignable in my group in Alignable.
yeah, that's where
Um,
I found it. So
Good.
Oh,
But,
nice.
I
Very cool.
might have,
The system works.
yeah,
yeah, right.
it's a nice little coffee chat, right? It's just,
Yeah, yeah,
anyway,
it's great. And I mean, half an hour is not a ridiculous amount of time to
yeah,
ask for either. So I really
yeah.
appreciate that. And looking forward to the next one, and we'll see, you know, see how things unfold. I'm really glad to connect with you.
Good. I'm glad to connect with you too. And I'm sorry we went over a little bit, but I think it was worth it.
Oh yeah, it's perfectly fine. So, all
Awesome.
right. Well,
All
have
right.
a good rest of your day.
You too. See you
Great
next
meeting
time.
you.
Yeah.
All righty, you too.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Latara. That was
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
I'll let you know when it's up on YouTube. Oh, let me stop the recording.